I welcome you on a journey across Austria and Europe to understand sustainability better. What does sustainability mean? What are the scientific terminologies? What are the day to day activities that we do that are sustainable and which ones are not? Sustainability is not just about finding a substitute for our problematic materials. It's about building a lifestyle. However, we'll get into the definitions later. I will take you across Austria and a few other countries in Europe and tell you the best practices from there in sustainability that I came across. This project is for the Global Sustainability Certificate Program from the Illinois and Vienna programs. I hope you enjoy, and first, let's head to Monaco to understand the meaning of sustainability in the simplest of words. Hello, today we are here in Monaco, another city in Europe, very beautiful. And as we were walking around, we could see a lot of plantation and a lot of trees. So I thought it's a beautiful moment to kind of know what sustainability is. Sustainability can be defined as a balance between growth, between development, and what is already existing in that place. For example, if you're building a new infrastructure, if you're building a new building, do you decide to cut down the trees and build the building? Or you decide to build the building around those trees is the question. And the answer is sustainability. To put it down simply, imagine a balance, a scale. If you have too much development, that's gonna hurt the other side. What we need is both of the sides to grow together. How is that done? I feel like many companies try to offset their emissions and their carbon footprint by planting trees. But the problem is, planting is not enough. Nurturing is that makes the difference. I have heard slogans that say like plant trees for a better future. No, you need to nourish those trees. You need to nurture those trees. And nurturing and nourishment comes from patience and consistency. So for sustainability, although we talk about new initiatives, new ideas, I feel like having a consistent plan, having that persistence is really important. And I could see that as I was walking around these streets in Monaco, wherein they've built buildings, they've built floors in a city, but they've managed to take care of, to protect, and to nurture their nature. So let us all hashtag nurture nature. So now that we looked at sustainability from a more practical and real world perspective, let's move on to the next topic that builds upon what we just learned. You are your ancestors' wildest dreams. Interesting, isn't it? Today, when I speak with you, my phone, my clothes, my watch, things around me may not be made in one part of the world. These nations, these countries interact with each other. So every sustainable decision taken helps in the greater, bigger, and much larger cause. So when we speak about sustainability, it's not just restricted to yourself, although that is the first step. We speak about the world as a whole being sustainable. There is a concept in India, a phrase in Sanskrit which says Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, that the whole entire universe is my family. And keeping that in mind, we need to discuss our next topic of globalization and trade. Sustainable living comes from sustainable lifestyles, which can only be supported through trade that is also green inherently, but also the products that are being traded and used across the world, they need to have less environmental impacts themselves. So let's move on. Let's go to Barcelona to look at this concept of industrialization and the concept of globalization. I would like to welcome you to the city of Barcelona. I'm here today on one of the tallest peaks in the city, looking down upon buildings and concrete jungles. When we talk about sustainability, we talk about buildings, we talk about industries, we talk about growth and development. What that brings is emissions, pollution, carbon footprints, etc. How this view looked 200 years back is unimaginable today. Today, all you can see is buildings and a few trees in the middle of them. So where do you draw that line between sustainability and growth, between industrialization and having something such as nature or a garden present instead of a building? You can see ships in the background. This brings me to the next topic, which is globalization. Ships or ports connect one country to another. Spain might have export import relations of millions of businesses around the world and hundreds of countries. That causes pollution. But what is the offset? What is the trade off? Is globalization acceptable at the cost of the environment? Is this acceptable at the cost of the forests that lived here before? Where are we going with our growth? Now that we looked at industrialization and globalization and how that translates into cities being grown into these big, giant, metropolitan, living, breathing entities which kind of interact with each other, let's go on to look at the other side of urban areas. Let's go now to Salzburg, to the Mirabell Gardens, which are giant, vast lands of just greenery, trees, and it's such a relief in the modern day. So let's go there and listen to a specific conversation I had with my friends and how that kind of translates to what we are speaking about sustainability today. Hello, so today we're at the Mirabell Gardens in Salzburg. And as we were walking around these beautiful gardens, we realized the importance of trees in our environment. That day I was having a conversation with my friends, and in the conversation, we didn't realize we started talking about a machine that takes in carbon dioxide and gives out oxygen. When we thought that it would be so cool if something like that exists, it would get rid of all the climate problems we have. And then we realized it exists, and it looks like this. It's a fact. Looking at a garden like this essentially makes us understand the importance of the environment in a way that we have not fathomed before. So I'm so glad that I'm able to be here today and share with you a little part of my journey in Salzburg as the Mirabell Gardens. Let us build such gardens, let us build such areas where plants are given importance so that we can build a better climate for us and the generations to come. Plants hold a very special significance for us. Today, because of climate change, they are more important than ever. However, in ancient civilizations, humankind revered plants. The Ministry of Climate in India uses a phrase on all of their documentation. It's inspired from a Sanskrit mantra that says Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitaha. The ministry uses Prakriti Rakshati Rakshitaha. This roughly translates to when you protect, preserve, and nurture nature, the nature, the environment, and the surroundings around you will protect, preserve, and nurture you. And I feel like that is the essence of sustainability. We need to evolve in terms of our technologies, infrastructure, our understanding, but at the same time act in an unbiased, balanced way to ensure that the nature, the plants, and the living things around us all prosper. Let's move on now. Let's look at a very specific plant in the industrial sense. Let's go back to Austria, to the Stiegl beer manufacturing plant, and look at how do they see sustainability. Let's go now to Salzburg again. Hello, today we are in a brewery in Salzburg, and because of company policies, the representatives couldn't be on video, so I thought I should share the key takeaways that I had from this trip. First, we are running out of water. Water is a scarce resource that we all know about. However, we fail to understand that one resource gets distributed to all of the industries individually. So, for example, tomorrow we have a water scarcity problem. All of that water is going to be diverted towards food and the juices that you like, the milk that you like, the products that you get in the supermarkets, the 21 types of milks that we have in our supermarkets today. All of that is going to go away. Water scarcity is something that we're missing out on. The representative shared with us that the company has got down. So essentially, to make 1 liter of beer, you used to need 8 liters of water. That's a 1:8 ratio. They have gotten it down to one liter for 3.5 liters of water. That's still not as good. So we still need to work harder. Secondly, I would like to talk about the reusability of bottles in Austria. An amazing concept wherein all beer companies essentially use the same type of bottle, and any employee or any person who uses that can just return it and it gets reused. But there's a catch. If you fold the bottle cap and you put it inside, there is a 50% chance that the bottle gets thrown away. That is interesting because we are not paying attention to it. A small thing, a small step can have a big impact. Thank you for joining me on this journey across the continent to understand sustainability better. GSCP has been instrumental in giving us an opportunity to not just understand but also question the ideas of sustainability. Be it the Austrian World Summit, where I was able to listen to Ukrainian leaders speak about sustainability and environment in times of war, an interesting conversation indeed, or the Courier Speak Out Festival, where I was able to talk to the Minister for Climate Action, Environment, Energy, Innovation and Technology from Austria and ask her about the carbon markets as well as her personal views and her views about Austria as a whole and where does she see Austria standing in that market, voluntary or mandated, in the near future. I was able to speak with directors from Plastic Planet and the Green Lie and ask him about his creative process, his thinking in building a film about sustainability. This is not the end, it's just the beginning. This semester has been nothing short of wonderful, and I would just like to thank the entire Illinois and Vienna programs team for giving us this opportunity to explore. I'm sure that the learnings, the takeaways, and the understandings that I've had, the clarity of mind about sustainability and the environment from Austria, I will definitely take it back with me to Chicago and to India and apply my learnings to build communication, to build workshops, to build awareness about sustainability and a clean lifestyle. Today, I pledge and I request all of you to pledge with me that we will build a cleaner, better, and greener future for the generations to come. Let us do this. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed the video.